I've sat across from countless patients, each one certain that their daily apple or morning smoothie was the picture of health. And yet, many of them were quietly walking down a path that would eventually lead to dialysis. You see, the danger doesn't always come in the form of fast food or sugar-packed sodas. Sometimes it's wrapped in nature's skin, sweet to the taste, and looks like it belongs in a health magazine. But when your kidneys are on the line, even the most innocent-looking foods can become silent saboteurs. That's what shocks people the most. A ripe banana, a glass of orange juice, or a generous slice of watermelon might all carry too much potassium for aging kidneys to handle, tipping the delicate balance and silently accelerating damage with no symptoms, no warning signs, until it's almost too late. I've spent over 15 years in nephrology, helping people navigate the slow, quiet decline of kidney function. And if there's one truth I've learned, it's this: the little things matter more than anyone realizes. Not just your medication, not just your blood pressure, but the tiny, seemingly harmless decisions you make every day, especially what you reach for when you need a snack. We all do it. That quick fix between meals, the reward after a walk, the comfort food in the late afternoon. But when your kidneys are vulnerable, those casual habits can become the tipping point. And here's the part no one tells you. You don't need to give up snacking. You just need to get smarter about it. What I'm about to share with you is more than a list. It's a new way of thinking about how you eat, what you choose, and how every bite can either support healing or invite harm. These are snacks that don't just avoid damage, they actively help your body lower creatinine levels, reduce inflammation, and protect your kidneys without asking you to sacrifice taste or joy. I'll guide you through each one, showing you why it works, how it helps, and how you can start using it today. Because when you truly understand the connection between pleasure and protection, food becomes more than fuel. It becomes freedom. So before you unwrap that next treat from the pantry, stay with me. What you're about to hear might just be the sweetest secret your kidneys didn't know they needed. They say fruit is nature's candy, and for most people, that sounds like a safe bet. It's fresh, it's colorful, it's packed with vitamins, and it grows straight from the earth. But here's the truth that doesn't make it onto the label. When your kidneys are struggling, even just a little certain, fruits can quietly raise your potassium to dangerous levels, disrupting heart rhythms, causing muscle weakness, and pushing already tired kidneys further into decline. And what's more alarming is how common the culprits are. Bananas, oranges, and large servings of watermelon all carry potassium loads that can quickly overwhelm impaired filtration systems, especially in adults over 60, whose kidney function may already be compromised without symptoms. But let's shift from fear to empowerment, because here's the hopeful part. Some fruits don't just avoid harm, they actually help. They bring healing. Take apples, for instance. Low in potassium, high in fiber, and rich in quercetin, a potent antioxidant that directly reduces inflammation in kidney cells. Or blueberries, small but mighty, with Harvard-backed evidence showing they can cut the risk of kidney disease by nearly a quarter. Then there are strawberries, grapes, and pineapple, which not only provide hydration and gut support, but do so with a potassium profile that's gentle and safe. These fruits, when chosen carefully and eaten in moderation, can soothe the body instead of stressing it. But the real power comes in how you use them. A half cup of berries, 1 small apple, or 15 grapes may not sound like much, but it's the therapeutic zone, that sweet spot, between satisfying your craving and keeping your kidneys safe. When you start thinking of fruit not just as food but as medicine in disguise, the way you eat changes. You gain control. You start feeling better. You start seeing shifts in your energy, your labs, your confidence. And if you want to turn those fruits into a ritual, try baked cinnamon apples with a spoonful of coconut yogurt. It's warm, comforting, and quietly healing. Because sometimes what nourishes your body also lifts your spirit. That's the kind of snack I believe in. There's something about the sound of a crunch that brings comfort. That familiar texture, the satisfying snap, it doesn't just feed your hunger. It calms your nerves, grounds you in the moment. But when you're living with kidney concerns, that craving for crunch can lead you into dangerous territory. Most people reach for chips, crackers, or processed snacks loaded with salt, phosphorus additives, and unhealthy fats. And every handful seems harmless, until it quietly contributes to swelling, rising blood pressure, and kidney stress that builds day by day. But here's the shift that can change everything. Popcorn. Not the movie theater butter bomb or the mystery bag from the microwave aisle. I'm talking about clean, air-popped popcorn, just whole kernels and heat. This humble snack is naturally low in potassium and phosphorus, which means it's gentle on kidneys. In fact, a 3-cup serving delivers less than 100 milligrams of potassium and nearly no phosphorus at all. It's not just safe, it's strategic. Add to that its high fiber content, and now you've got a snack that stabilizes blood sugar, supports digestion, and even helps your heart. That's a rare combination in any food, let alone one that crunches. And you don't need to settle for bland. A sprinkle of cinnamon can warm things up. Garlic powder adds a savory edge. Or try nutritional yeast for a cheesy, umami flavor without the dairy or sodium overload. Suddenly, popcorn becomes more than a filler, it becomes a healer. Even neurologically, the act of chewing something crunchy sends calming signals to your brain, telling it you're safe, you're satisfied, you're in control. That's no small thing when you're managing a chronic condition. But we're not stopping there. Because now, I want to show you a snack that does more than crunch. It combines smooth and crisp, energy and balance, indulgence and intention. A snack that won't spike your sugar or strain your kidneys, but still leaves you deeply satisfied long after the last bite. And the best part, it's probably already in your kitchen. It's mid-afternoon, your energy dips, your hands reach for anything that will carry you through. This is the moment where most people grab a quick fix, a granola bar, a sugary bite, or another handful of chips. But what if instead, you could reach for something that feels indulgent and yet gently supports your kidneys, stabilizes your energy, and nourishes you from the inside out? That's exactly what happens when you pair brown rice cakes with a layer of natural peanut butter. Simple, yes, but don't let that fool you. This combo is a nutritional quiet storm, gentle, powerful, and deeply effective. Brown rice, in its whole form, delivers complex carbohydrates that release energy slowly. No sugar spikes, no crashes. It's also higher in fiber than white rice, which means better digestion, more stable blood sugar, and less inflammation. 3 things your kidneys desperately need as they work overtime. Now, top that rice cake with natural peanut butter. Not the kind with sugar, oil, or salt added, but just one ingredient: peanuts. What you get is clean, plant-based protein and healthy fats that satisfy hunger, calm cravings, and offer long-lasting fuel without straining your kidneys. But here's where it becomes personal. This snack isn't just food, it's a strategy. The mix of fiber, protein, and fat slows digestion, which means your body has more time to absorb nutrients and less need to process metabolic waste. That's everything when your filtration system is fragile, and you can take it further. Add a dash of cinnamon to regulate blood sugar, or stir in a hint of unsweetened cocoa for a chocolate flavor that feels like a treat but stays firmly in the kidney-safe zone. When I recommend this snack to patients, I don't just see improvements in numbers. I see changes in how they feel: more steady, less reactive, more in control. It's a small shift with a big return, but we're just getting started. Because there's one more kind of snack that people often overlook, one that offers strength in every handful and can quietly rebuild what time and illness have worn down. Let's go there next. When people think of healing, they often picture something slow, something soft. But sometimes healing comes with a crunch. Not just any crunch, one that carries strength, anti-inflammatory power, and a quiet kind of confidence. That's exactly what the right kind of nuts can bring to the table. But here's the warning most people miss. Not all nuts are created equal, especially when your kidneys are compromised. Some are laced with salt, coated in oil, or naturally high in phosphorus and potassium, two minerals that overworked kidneys struggle to handle. I've had patients tell me they switched to nuts for a healthier snack, only to see their lab numbers worsen. Why? Because they reached for cashews or pistachios. Delicious. Yes, but too dense in the very elements their bodies were trying to eliminate. Instead, I point them toward almonds and macadamia nuts. Just 10 raw, unsalted almonds offer a modest dose of potassium and phosphorus, low enough to stay within safe ranges, but they also bring vitamin E to the fight, a powerful antioxidant that protects kidney cells and calms internal inflammation. That's not a snack. That's therapy in a shell. Macadamia nuts are even more remarkable. Creamy, satisfying, and naturally lower in potassium than almost any other nut. They deliver healthy monounsaturated fats without needing salt or preservatives. A small handful goes a long way toward stabilizing energy, satisfying hunger, and protecting your heart, which is closely tied to kidney health. And if you want to take it to the next level, try making your own nut butter at home. Just blend the raw nuts and spread them on apple slices. It's rich, indulgent, and 100% aligned with your healing goals. But here's the most important part. Stay away from roasted and flavored varieties. They're often loaded with hidden phosphorus preservatives and sodium bombs that undo every benefit in a single bite. It's not just what you eat, it's how it's made. When you choose clean, raw, and purposeful, you're not just feeding your body, you're restoring trust in it. Still, not every craving comes with crunch. Sometimes what your body really needs is something fresh, crisp, and dipped in creamy comfort. And the next snack brings all of that together in one healing, refreshing bite. There's a certain moment in the day, often around late afternoon, when your body doesn't want sugar or salt. It wants clarity, something that feels light, clean, and restorative. That's the power of pairing crisp vegetables with a creamy dip that does more than satisfy, it heals. For many of my patients, this simple snack becomes a daily ritual that resets the body and gently supports kidney health. And the magic lies in both the simplicity and the synergy of what's on the plate. Carrot and cucumber sticks may look humble, but they are quiet giants in the world of kidney-friendly foods. Naturally low in potassium, hydrating by nature, and rich in antioxidants, they deliver exactly what tired kidneys need: gentle detox, cellular protection, and inflammation control. These vegetables cleanse without depleting, refresh without overwhelming, and when soaked in ice water for 10 minutes before serving, they become ultra-crisp, turning an ordinary bite into something truly satisfying. But the real alchemy happens when you dip them in hummus. Not the store-bought kind loaded with salt and preservatives, but a homemade version made from low-sodium canned chickpeas, olive oil, lemon juice, and just a touch of garlic or paprika. This combination offers protein, fiber, and healthy fats all in one spoonful without burdening your filtration system. Chickpeas, when prepared properly, provide fullness without triggering the spikes in phosphorus or sodium that often come from processed foods. Olive oil supports cardiovascular health, which in turn protects your kidneys. It's not just a dip, it's a targeted nutritional strategy. What surprises people the most is the emotional impact. The act of dipping, pausing, chewing slowly, it slows down your nervous system. It tells your body that you're safe. That healing doesn't have to be rushed or forced. That food can be joyful and medicinal all at once. And on days when fatigue or frustration hits, this kind of snack becomes more than fuel. It becomes self-respect, served cold. But there are moments when even the cleanest veggie or the creamiest dip doesn't hit the mark. When your body needs to rebuild, not just recover, that's when protein takes center stage. And the next snack isn't just approved for kidneys, it's tailor-made for them. When your body is tired, When your energy is low, and when your kidneys are under pressure, protein can either be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. That's the hard truth. Most traditional proteins, steak, chicken, even some dairy, come packed with phosphorus, cholesterol, and saturated fats that your kidneys must work overtime to process. But there's one form of protein that stands above the rest. It's clean, it's efficient, and it's nearly perfect for those trying to preserve or even rebuild kidney health. I'm talking about egg whites. Now, I know what you're thinking: egg whites. They sound plain. They feel simple. But when you dig into the science, they are nothing short of remarkable. Just 2 egg whites deliver about 7 grams of complete protein with almost no fat, very low phosphorus, and 0 cholesterol. That's unheard of in the world of animal proteins. And the best part? The body absorbs them with near-perfect efficiency. In fact, on the biological value scale, egg whites score a 100. That means your body uses nearly every gram of protein they offer, without generating the kind of waste your kidneys struggle to clear. But let's move beyond the numbers. What does that mean in real life? It means you can build muscle, maintain strength, and support cellular repair without pushing creatinine levels higher. You can give your body what it needs to heal without adding fuel to the fire. And if you're worried about taste, don't be. Egg whites can be boiled, scrambled with fresh herbs, or baked into mini omelets with garlic and chives. They're versatile, easy to digest, and, when seasoned right, deeply satisfying. The key here is consistency, not flash, not flavor explosions. Just a reliable, gentle protein source that nourishes without stress. And for so many of my patients, the simple act of including 3 or 4 egg whites a day changes everything. Labs stabilize. Energy returns. Appetite becomes steady again. It's a small step with enormous impact. But perhaps you're looking for something plant-based, something softer, something that carries anti-inflammatory benefits with every bite. There's a protein that fits that bill, and it's been hiding in plain sight on health food shelves for decades. Let me show you what tofu can really do. Tofu rarely sparks excitement. It doesn't sizzle like steak or promise indulgence the way cheese does. But if you're living with kidney challenges and searching for a protein that nurtures instead of harms, tofu is more than just an alternative, it's a revelation. I've seen it quietly transform the lives of patients who once believed their only choices were bland or dangerous. Because behind that soft, understated texture is one of the most kidney-friendly proteins on the planet. Here's why tofu matters. It's naturally low in phosphorus and potassium, 2 minerals that become burdensome when kidney function declines. But that's only the beginning. Tofu is packed with plant-based protein, offering all 9 essential amino acids your body needs to maintain strength, heal tissues, and support energy. This is rare in the plant world. Most vegetarian proteins are incomplete. But tofu, made from soybeans, checks every box. It doesn't come with the metabolic baggage of meat, and it won't quietly raise creatinine like some highly processed proteins tend to do. Even more powerful is what tofu brings beyond protein. It's rich in isoflavones compounds that have been shown in studies to reduce inflammation in kidney tissue, support hormonal balance, and ease oxidative stress. For aging adults managing early kidney disease, this means tofu doesn't just avoid harm, it actively helps. And the preparation? It's easier than most people think. Just press out the excess water from firm tofu, slice it into cubes, and marinate it with olive oil, fresh lemon juice, and healing herbs like basil or rosemary. Then bake it until golden. The result is a crispy edge, tender center, and a dish that feels both comforting and nourishing. Tofu also wins where many proteins fail. It's easy to digest. Your body processes it with minimal effort, meaning fewer toxins, less acid buildup, and more energy left for healing. And unlike animal proteins, tofu doesn't stress your heart, spike your cholesterol, or leave behind residue that kidneys have to work to eliminate. If you're someone who has looked at tofu with doubt or indifference, I invite you to look again, because when it's prepared right, it delivers not just taste, but a sense of calm, and knowing that what you're putting into your body is aligned with your intention to heal. But if you're still craving a clean, satisfying protein that comes from the sea rather than the soil, don't worry. There's one more option that's swimming in benefits. Fish has long been hailed as brain food, heart food, but for those managing kidney health, it can also be healing food. The key is knowing which fish supports your body, rather than silently overworking your filtration system. And among all the choices, tilapia stands out as one of the most gentle and effective animal proteins you can choose. Light in taste, rich in benefits, and incredibly easy to prepare, tilapia isn't just dinner, it's a strategy. Let me explain why. A single 4-ounce serving of tilapia delivers more than 20 grams of high-quality protein. That's enough to support muscle maintenance, tissue repair, and energy production, all without the heavy phosphorus or saturated fat found in red meats or even some oily fish. It's also incredibly low in potassium, which makes it ideal for kidneys that are already filtering under strain. And unlike salmon or tuna, tilapia won't leave behind a metabolic mess that your kidneys have to clean up. Instead, it offers clean, digestible nourishment that supports without sabotage. But the benefits go even deeper. Tilapia is naturally low in cholesterol and rich in selenium and vitamin B12, two nutrients essential for cellular repair and energy metabolism. Selenium acts as a powerful antioxidant, protecting kidney tissues from damage. B12 helps maintain nerve health and red blood cell formation, both crucial in a system where oxygen delivery can mean the difference between healing and decline. And preparation? Simple and elegant. Wrap the fillets in parchment paper with lemon slices and a few sprigs of rosemary or thyme. Bake at a moderate temperature for about 15 minutes. What you'll get is a moist, flavorful dish that feels indulgent, but stays aligned with your healing goals. No salt, no sauces needed. The mild taste of tilapia also makes it perfect for those who shy away from fishy flavors. It's approachable, even for the most cautious palate. In a world where so many animal proteins push your kidneys closer to the edge, tilapia quietly pulls you back from it. It's not just what it gives, it's what it spares you from. And yet, we're still missing one powerful piece of the puzzle. Because there's a plant-based option that brings not only clean protein, but fiber, anti-inflammatory power, and the rare distinction of being a complete amino acid source. It's not meat. It's not a bean. It's something far more unique, and it's been growing in the Andes for centuries. Quinoa. It doesn't scream excitement. It doesn't fill supermarket ads or take center stage at dinner parties. But if you're someone with elevated creatinine, struggling kidneys, or simply a desire to eat with purpose, quinoa might just be one of the most powerful foods you'll ever welcome into your kitchen. Because while it looks like a grain, it's technically a seed, and inside each of those tiny seeds is a perfect nutritional design tailor-made for healing. Let's start with what makes quinoa extraordinary. Unlike most plant-based options, quinoa is a complete protein, which means it contains all 9 essential amino acids your body can't produce on its own. That matters deeply when your kidneys are already under stress. You see, people with kidney disease often need to reduce total protein intake, but the protein they do consume must be high quality and efficiently absorbed. Quinoa delivers exactly that. No waste, no strain. Just clean, usable protein that helps your body rebuild without flooding your system with byproducts. But quinoa doesn't stop at protein. It's also naturally low in phosphorus and potassium, two minerals that are often hiding in so-called healthy foods and quietly sabotaging kidney recovery. A single cup of cooked quinoa offers about 8 grams of protein and a generous serving of dietary fiber. And that fiber isn't just for digestion. It helps reduce uremic toxins, supports regular bowel movements, and lightens the load on your kidneys by preventing harmful buildup. Even the prep process respects your time and your body. Just rinse thoroughly to remove bitter saponins. Then simmer in water or low-sodium broth for about 15 minutes. What you're left with is a warm, nutty, comforting base that plays well with kidney-safe vegetables like steamed zucchini, carrots, or green beans. Drizzle with olive oil, toss in some lemon zest, and suddenly, you've created more than a meal. You've built a moment of intentional nourishment. What I love most about quinoa is how quietly powerful it is. It doesn't announce itself with flavor bombs or marketing buzzwords. It doesn't claim to fix everything, but it gives generously. It nourishes without taking. And in a world full of foods that ask your kidneys to work harder, quinoa whispers, "I've got you." But not every food is on your side. In fact, some of the most common and most trusted staples in American kitchens may be the very things silently pushing your kidneys closer to failure. And what I'm about to share next might completely change how you see your pantry. It's a harsh truth that the foods we trust the most are sometimes the ones that betray us most deeply. I've watched patients sit across from me in complete disbelief after learning that the very meals they thought were helping were actually harming. Because hidden inside your fridge, your pantry, and even your protein shake are choices that seem harmless on the surface, but wreak havoc on fragile kidneys. Let's talk about those hidden dangers. The foods that wear a health halo, but come loaded with ingredients your kidneys simply cannot afford. Take turkey bacon, for example. It sounds better than pork, right? Leaner, lighter, maybe even heart-smart. But most brands are loaded with sodium, sometimes more than 500 milligrams per slice. And they don't stop there. They're often pumped full of phosphate additives that absorb quickly, raise phosphorus levels, and trigger a chain reaction that leads to bone loss, heart strain, and faster kidney decline. And yet, because it says turkey, people assume it's safe. It's not. It's processed, chemically enhanced, and dangerous for anyone managing kidney issues. And then there's red lentils. Plant-based, affordable, easy to cook, everything modern health advice says to look for. But here's the hidden trap. One cooked cup of red lentils can carry over 700 milligrams of potassium and more than 300 milligrams of phosphorus. And unlike some plant foods, these nutrients are highly bioavailable. That means your body absorbs them quickly, and your kidneys are left scrambling to clean up. Even worse, lentils are often paired with high potassium ingredients like tomatoes or coconut milk, creating a perfect storm for a potassium overload. Hot dogs? They're practically a nightmare. Beneath that soft, nostalgic bite is a chemical stew of nitrates, phosphates, and oxidized fats, each one a direct strike to your kidneys. Some hot dogs contain more than 200 milligrams of sodium nitrates per serving, which can convert into nitrosamines, linked to kidney damage and even cancer. Add in the phosphorus preservatives, and what you've got isn't meat. It's metabolic poison dressed up as a snack. Whey protein isolate is another wolf in sheep's clothing. Marketed as clean muscle fuel, it's anything but clean for your kidneys. Each scoop is packed with nitrogen byproducts and phosphorus that force your kidneys into overdrive. It lacks fiber, lacks antioxidants, and leaves behind a trail of acidity and stress. If you're working out to stay strong, don't let your protein shake become the very thing that weakens you. Even canned black beans, those fiber-rich plant-based staples, can be risky. A single drained cup may still deliver over 600 milligrams of potassium, plus added sodium, unless they're rinsed thoroughly. Most people eat double without realizing it. The result? Fluid retention, blood pressure spikes, and extra stress on kidneys already struggling to keep up. And then there's red meat, steak, the classic image of strength. But even lean cuts carry a heavy load of phosphorus, saturated fat, and purines, all of which drive inflammation, acid buildup, and uric acid spikes. Every bite demands more than your kidneys can give. Over time, the toll adds up, not in one meal, but over weeks, months, years, until one day, the decline becomes irreversible. I don't share these warnings to create fear. I share them to give you power. Because once you see the patterns, you can change them. And the most powerful changes aren't always about food. Sometimes, they begin with a single step literally. And that brings us to one of the most overlooked healing practices in kidney care. You don't have to swallow it. You just have to lace up your shoes. Every morning, your kidneys wake up with you. And just like your mind needs coffee or your muscles need a stretch, your kidneys need rhythm, flow, movement. Not supplements, not pills, not miracle cleanses. Just the simple, powerful act of walking. A consistent morning walk, just 20 to 30 minutes, can do more for your kidney health than most people ever imagine. I've seen it shift lives. I've seen it stabilize lab results. And I've seen it bring peace to bodies that had been fighting for too long without relief. Why does it work? Because movement increases circulation to your kidneys, improves oxygen delivery, and helps flush out the fluid that builds up silently overnight. That swelling in your legs, that puffiness in your face, it often comes from sluggish lymph flow and fluid retention. But a morning walk resets that. It gets things moving again. No pills, no side effects, just real, restorative motion. It also lowers blood pressure, balances blood sugar, and improves how your body responds to insulin. Each of these factors plays a direct role in how fast or how slow your kidney function changes. And let me be clear, it's not about burning calories or chasing fitness goals. It's about building rhythm into your healing. The same way you brush your teeth every day without question, your kidneys deserve that kind of ritual too. That kind of daily commitment. So picture this. You step outside. The air is fresh. Your body begins to loosen. With each step, you're not just exercising. You're giving your kidneys space to breathe, to release, to heal. And that space adds up. One walk becomes two. 1 week becomes a habit. And your kidneys begin to feel supported in a way that no supplement could ever match. Let's bring this all home. You've just learned about foods that heal and foods that harm. You've heard the science, the strategy, and the lived experience behind every recommendation. But here's what matters most, what you do next. Because protecting your kidneys doesn't start in a hospital. It starts in your kitchen, in your shoes, in the quiet, consistent choices you make every day that say, I'm still here. I still have power. Start small. Pick one snack. Make one swap. Take one walk. Watch what happens. Watch how your energy changes. Watch how the swelling eases. Watch how your labs begin to shift not by luck, but by design. And remember, you're not doing this alone. I'm here. This channel is here. Real, trustworthy guidance, grounded in science and given with care. So save this message. Come back to it when you feel lost. Share it with someone who needs it. Hit subscribe so you never miss another tool that could help you live stronger and longer. Your kidneys may be working hard, but now you're working smart. We're in this together. One wise choice. One strong step at a time.